Why was Phytophthora infestans so deadly to Irish potatoes? Imagine a tiny organism causing one of the worst famines in Irish history. That is what happened with Phytophthora infestans, a water mold that turned Irish potatoes into rotting messes. This organism was deadly mainly because it caused late blight, a disease that spread fast and destroyed entire crops. It thrived in the cool, damp Irish climate of the 1840s, especially during the wet summer of 1845. The spores of this water mold traveled through rain and wind, infecting the leaves, stems, and underground tubers of potato plants. Once infected, the plants would turn black and rot quickly, often within days. The disease reproduced rapidly, making it nearly impossible to control once it took hold. Irish farmers depended heavily on potatoes, often growing just one or two varieties. Since these potatoes were all genetically similar, they had no natural resistance to the blight. When the pathogen arrived from North America around 1845, it found a perfect environment and vulnerable crops. The Irish climate provided ideal conditions for the spores to germinate and spread unchecked. Without effective treatments like fungicides or resistant potato strains, the disease spread rapidly and devastated the harvest. This was a time before chemical controls or modern farming techniques, so once the blight struck, there was little farmers could do. The impact was catastrophic because about half of Ireland's population relied almost entirely on potatoes for food. When crops failed, hunger and disease spread quickly, leading to the Great Famine. The famine caused mass starvation, emigration, and lasting changes in Irish society. The arrival of Phytophthora infestans was a turning point that showed how a tiny organism could have a huge impact on a nation. Today, Irish farmers have learned from this history by planting a variety of potatoes and using better disease management. The story of the blight reminds us how fragile food security can be and why diversity in crops is so important. Understanding this helps explain why the Great Famine had such a lasting effect on Irish heritage and why it remains a key part of Irish history today.